What if the key to solving family conflict was actually preventing it before it even starts? There are so many families that get stuck in family conflict because they didn't know what to do ahead of time to avoid that family conflict in the first place. In this video, we're going to discuss how to prevent family conflict. And I'm going to share with you key things that you can do to prepare your family to not have conflict in the first place. I have other videos where I talk about stopping the conflict right in the minute, but I always mention in those videos about how if you prepare ahead of time, it makes it all better. And even stopping stuff right in the minute is so much easier if the family already knows some of the same skills. So what can you do? When I was raising my children, who are all grown now and they're raising their children, and when I was doing treatment foster care, I saw the power in what I call pre-teaching. That's preparing the brain, preparing the heart, preparing the person ahead of time to want to invest in their own self-government so that they are actually taking the driver's seat with their own choices, their own actions, so that they feel the confidence that comes from making your own choice, to choose to follow instructions and accept no answers, accept consequences, and disagree in appropriate ways with other people. So that teaching, I had no idea was actually going to end up helping people all around the world. People started contacting our family and saying, hey, will you come and share some of these skills because we need the help with stopping family conflict in our own families? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. I mean, I had no idea that it was going to be that beneficial for people. So that's what I'd like to share with you now. So when you are training your family how to communicate, maybe the focus shouldn't necessarily be on the conflict, but just on their development and on what they need. So what does a person need to properly develop? What adult skills do they need to have in order to be happy, productive, communicate effectively, be able to seek understanding and gain understanding, as well as to be able to handle the hard things that happen in life, all of those things. Those are the moments that lead to family conflict. When a person doesn't get their way, that means they can't handle one of the hard moments in life. Family conflict. When a person has a moment where somebody says something unkind to them, they don't know how to reply back without getting into a fight. Family conflict. When a parent tells a child to do something they don't want to do, and the child whines or complains, family conflict. Power struggles can happen all the time just because a family does not have a shared set of skills and principles that they can use that point back to them governing themselves, being calm, controlling themselves, instead of always waiting for the other person in the group to make everything happen to them. If you're a parent that feels like you have to make your children be calm, make your children get their chores done, make, all those things happen, that's draining. I mean, parenting is hard work anyway, and it already takes everything we have out of us. But if we then now take their own choice responsibilities upon ourselves, that makes it even worse. It doesn't have to be that way. You can teach them ahead of time 4 basic skills of self-government that actually can change everything. So there are 4 basic skills. There's actually some children's books that teach these 4 basic skills of self-government. And the 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. When a person learns those 4 basic skills ahead of time, they are prepared to communicate and take personal responsibility. Especially with that skill, disagreeing appropriately. That's the gateway skill to self-government. That's a super empowering skill that helps them recognize what they need to do to seek understanding and to understand other people as well. It's powerful. So how do you disagree appropriately? You look at the person, you keep a calm face, voice, and body. You say that you understand the other person's point of view. You share your point of view. You listen to what they have to say. You say okay, and then you drop the subject. So that means that you're seeking to understand, then to be understood. You're being patient, you're waiting, it's not just about you. This is a very maturing skill to use. And guess what? I've seen little babies, I've seen little 2-year-olds using this kind of a skill. So it can happen. Start teaching it young. Help them understand the words. Spoon feed them the words, like say, Mom, Mom, may I disagree appropriately. They'll just say properly, or they'll say disagree appropriately. They won't know how to say it, but you start feeding them all those words and then teach them exactly what to tell you, to seek to understand, and then to change your mind. And then show them it works. It makes so much difference. And what would happen if they use that disagree appropriately skill with each other, not just with you? And what would happen if you use the disagree appropriately skill with your spouse and your neighbors and your mother-in-law and that neighbor that has that dog? What if? What if you used that skill? What could happen if the whole world started using that skill? That's the power of those 4 basic skills. Now, there are some other things that you need to teach the children and the family ahead of time in order to prevent family conflict from happening. So first, you need to get the family on the same page of why would we even want to prevent family conflict, right? So what kind of a family are we becoming? I call that creating a family vision. And I talk about that in my courses and books and things like that. Then you also teach them, okay, well, if we're not going in that direction, like that's our direction we're pointed as a family, but if it doesn't feel like we're getting there, if we're not using our 4 basic skills very well, if we're not being calm and self-regulated, how are we going to get back to there? Okay, well, there's 5 teaching styles that are teaching self-government teaching styles that you can teach your children that you will use to help the family get back on track. So you're going to teach them how you're going to correct them, how you're going to help them choose calmness and get to self-regulation when they need that. You're going to help them understand the whole system of teaching self-government and how it works and how much choice and power they have in it. Then you're going to follow through. You've got to be consistent. Once you do that teaching, now when it doesn't happen, the moment they start not disagreeing appropriately with each other, you need to correct it. Don't let it get to big fights and conflicts and hard feelings and people sulking in their rooms. And don't even let it get to that. Just correct it first, right at the beginning. Stop it. Help them disagree appropriately. Point them toward the skill that they do need, which is usually that one. That one helps with a lot of things, but there are other skills they might need too. If we proactively teach our children these things, if we teach them how to be calm when they're communicating, what's a calm face, what's a calm voice, what's a calm body, when do I need to use it? What do I do if I don't feel calm? Those are other skills. They're self-regulation skills that we all need, and we can teach those things ahead of time. That's actually what this whole channel is all about, is to prepare people to teach their children those skills, but even more than that, to teach them to themselves. If as a parent you're worried about family conflict, but you're still taking things personal and you're still not knowing how to communicate in a calm way yourself, then start with calmness for you. In fact, I have a calm parenting toolkit. It's on my website and it's free right now. So right on the homepage, you can have access to it. It's 10 tools for calmness. It's not going to teach you the whole teaching self-government system, but it will give you some tools that you can start using today to help you with your calmness. So go to teachingselfgovernment.com, right on the homepage, get that Calm Parenting Toolkit, and I'll see you there.